Now, one of the most common questions that I hear from any homeowner who is looking at adding solar to their home is how many solar panels do I need? And obviously, need is all subjective, and technically the answer is it depends, which is always frustrating to hear because people generally want an answer, or at the very least, a ballpark of what to expect without having to jump through a bunch of hoops with a solar installer. Now, the main reason why it depends is because it really comes down to two key variables that are custom to you in your situation, which we're going to figure out together. One, it's going to be your energy consumption. And then two is going to be how much sunlight your roof gets. So let me walk you through step by step on how you can figure out how many solar panels you might need. And all we have to do is calculate those two key numbers, do a couple of simple math equations, all without needing a solar consultation or using any expensive solar software to assist. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. My name is Zach. I've been in the solar industry for a little more than 10 years, and hopefully this video makes that process of exploring solar just a bit easier. If at any point you have any questions at all on this process, just drop them below in the comments. So for our first step, we need to figure out our annual energy consumption in kilowatt hours. And we can think of this entire process like we're applying for jobs, and that we need to determine what our income range needs to be to cover our basic needs and expenses each year. In this example, the solar panels, they're going to be our income, and our energy consumption in kilowatt hours is going to be our annual expenses. Now, to start, you're going to want to pull up your most recent utility bill. You're looking for a bar chart that shows your energy usage over the past 12 months, not your total amount spent in dollars. We're looking for energy consumption in kilowatt hours. Now, most utilities will include this right on the bill, and if yours doesn't show you this information in kilowatt hours, you can find this information a few different ways depending on your utility and their online portal. Some utility companies will offer downloadable data through an Excel or CSV file that you can pull right from your online account, and it'll show you your monthly or daily or some metric of your kilowatt hour consumption. The alternative is you can just download your last 12 months of utility bills and then pull that exact kilowatt hour number for that month right there from the bill. Ultimately, the end goal that we're trying to accomplish, no matter which way you go, is just get your total energy consumption for the year in kilowatt hours. So however you do that. If you're getting stuck through all of this, you can just reach out to your utility company and see if they can provide you with your last 12 months of usage. Again, in kilowatt hours, not the dollar amount. A side pro tip as well is this information is fantastic to know for yourself if you plan to go through the process of getting solar quotes here in the near future, because this is going to be information that the installer will be asking for, they should be asking for, in order to accurately build out your proposal. And now, by you knowing this information, you will be able to double check that they're adding all of your consumption numbers up properly as well. And if you are in the US and you're starting to explore options and installers to work with, I do offer a free discovery call. It's zero pressure. The link is below in the description. If that's something that'd be useful for you, check it out. Now, for today's example, I'm going to go with 15,000 kilowatt hours for the year. And now that we have our annual energy consumption, we're going to go ahead into step 2, where we're going to determine the appropriate number of solar panels for your current consumption habits. And for this step, we're going to want to use PVWatts. The link and the information on this is below in the description if you want to follow along. And now when you land on the PVWatts homepage, you can enter your exact home address or just your city and state. And the main goal here is getting your correct latitude and longitude so that the calculator knows your geographic solar axis. And for this example, we're going to use Phoenix, Arizona. Now, once we've got our location set, you'll see the solar resource data with your latitude and your longitude. The calculator will use this information to pull your specific data points. Now, let's move into the system info section. On this page, we're going to see 6 different inputs. Each one has a little information icon if you want to dive deeper. I'm going to walk you through the simple approach here because honestly, if you've already gotten a solar proposal, they're doing most of these calculations for you anyway, but it really doesn't hurt to double check them. The DC system size, you're going to want to change this to 1 kilowatt, and I'll explain why here in a second, but don't put anything other than 1 or this will mess up the entire calculation that we're doing in this video. So put 1 for DC system size. Now, panel type, select premium. If you click the icon, the little information icon, you'll see that premium panels have approximately 21% efficiency with a temperature coefficient of about negative 0.35%. And this is all pretty standard for panels that are being installed today. The standard option, That's definitely representing older, less efficient tech that we really don't see anymore. For array type, we're going to go with fixed roof mount if you plan on doing a roof installation like most do. If you're doing a ground mount, go with fixed open rack. Now for system losses, leave this at 14%. You can dive into the loss calculator if you want, but 14% is a solid baseline, assuming there's no abnormal shading on your property. For tilt, this is going to be our roof pitch. For most homes, you're probably around 20 degrees, which is pretty common. If you have a steeper roof, go closer to 30. If you have a flat roof, your panels will still be tilted, so I'd pick something in that 10 to 15 degree range. Again, this doesn't need to be rocket science. Just use your best estimate on your roof pitch. Now, azimuth. Azimuth, this is the direction that your solar panels will face, and it's represented in directional degrees like what you'll see on a compass. Azimuth and your geographic location. These are two of the most important variables to get right in this entire equation. South is 180 degrees, and it's the best direction for anyone in the northern hemisphere, like the United States. West is 270, east is 90. Both east and west, they're going to share very similar performance benchmarks, with north being your least efficient at 0 degrees. If your roof has a blend of directions like south and west, north and east, whatever it might be, just split the difference or select the direction that's going to be most predominantly used. A quick tip here as well is you can pull up the compass app on your phone and then just stand the direction that your roof points, and that should get you the information that you're looking for to input here on this equation. Now, for my example, we're going to use 225, which is a southwestern facing roof. Now, let's get into the results. For this example, the calculator shows 1,682 kilowatt hours per year for 1 kilowatt of solar. And there's a range shown in smaller text, but we're going to use this larger number shown above for this calculation. So 1,682 kilowatt hours per kilowatt of solar. Now, I understand this number right here doesn't tell us how many solar panels we need just yet, but what it does tell us is how much energy 1 kilowatt of solar can produce annually at your location with your specific inputs. This number right here, this is often called our solar yield, which is essentially our performance multiplier. So now that we know our annual consumption and now our solar yield, we can bridge that gap. If we take our consumption and divide that number by our yield, that's going to give us our recommended system size in kilowatts for a 100% offset system. So for this example right here, we're going to take our annual consumption of 15,000 kilowatt hours and then divide it by that yield or that multiplier that we just got of 1,682. And this is going to give us 8.9 kilowatts for our system size. But we still need to figure out our panel count. Now, most residential panels today will range between 400 and 450 watts. So we're going to go ahead and select a nice round number at 400 watts. And remember, since 1 kilowatt is just 1,000 watts, a 400 watt solar panel is going to amount to 0.4 kilowatts. What this all means is that we're going to take that 8.9 kilowatt system and then divide it by our panel size in kilowatts, which is 0.4. The result here is going to be our number of panels, and that's going to give us approximately 22.25 panels. And since we can't install 1/4 of a solar panel, we're going to round up to 23 panels. The bottom line of all of this is, for this example, home consuming 15,000 kilowatt hours annually. This process right here tells us that we would want to shoot for roughly a 23 panel system using 400 watt panels to cover that 100% offset annually. And here's a disclaimer. This calculation is an easy way to give yourself a good starting point as to how many solar panels might be the right fit for you. But it's exactly that. It's a starting point. It may not tell you your ideal system size, since there are so many specific variables that come into play. And what you should really do is use this as a benchmark, so that if these were your results, like what we went through in this example, and you're getting a proposal for 12 panels with the promise of a super low electric bill, you can see that's not going to be possible, and that's a huge red flag. Additionally, if you got another proposal for, say, 45 panels, that system is likely overkill for you. And while we sized it for 100% offset here in this example, the main goal with system sizing is to target the most optimal setup, not the biggest. And your appropriate annual offset with your system is going to depend heavily on your utilities rate structure and the solar buyback rate, how much they pay you for your excess solar generation, as well as if you're adding a battery to your system. That's why dealing with a local company is so important with solar specifically, because they need to understand how that utility is set up. Again, if you're going through the process of getting solar quotes for your home and you want to book that discovery call with me, the link is below in the description. Now, if you want to learn more about which solar panel is the best, hint, really doesn't matter. Check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.